Alrighty, everybody, welcome. Welcome back to another exciting school year. I hope everyone had a wonderful summer. Um, this is our agenda for today. Linda's going to get us started by introducing our two newest additions to the CNP team, and then she's going to talk to us about direct certification. And then we'll hear from Marianne regarding SFSB and SSO updates and reminders. And then she's also going to showcase some of the recipients of the Turn Up the Beat Award. And then we'll hear from Jessica regarding CEP and applications. And then Pamela will discuss wellness policies. And then we'll hear from our very own Sean Charters, who I'm happy to announce is our newest USDA Foods Coordinator. Be sure to extend her congratulations in the chat. She'll be taking over for Kat when she retires next month. And then we'll hear from Kat herself for procurement, and then we'll hear from Pamela regarding these last few topics, FFEP grant, the farm to school, and literacy from the lunchroom. And then to conclude us, we'll have professional standards with Cass. Linda?
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to let everyone know about our two CNP NSLP team members. The first one is Kala Chapin. She has been working in some capacity with, I think it's Idaho, no, University of Idaho. So you may have seen her around. Kala just started on June 30th. So she's been here a month. She's a dietitian working with the dairy industry. So she was with the Dairy Council. And the other new employee is Kylie Anderson. Kylie has worked in clinical nutrition at the NICU at St. Luke's Children's Hospital. She likes outdoor stuff and being close to her family. So Kylie has also started on June 30th. So we sort of threw them into the fire. They started out with 4 weeks experience and did training for you guys. So please welcome Kala and Kylie. And they are a valuable member of our team. Next, I want to tell everybody about direct certification. There is a change to direct certification. We have updated our DC user manual to include the direct certification changes that were made. So it's, I think, just one or two screenshots. So if you haven't noticed, there is a T for taffy, so no blanks anymore. Taffy can be extended. R is Medicaid reduced. M is Medicaid free. X is SNAP. Those can all be in the SNAP column extended to other members of the family. M in the foster column and X in the foster column, which means foster, cannot be extended. So taffy, that is the new change in the direct cert. So please watch out when you're importing your report that something doesn't go off because the T has been added. That's it for direct cert, and I will hand it over to Marianne. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Linda. Good morning, everyone. Happy beginning of the school year. I hope you all had a great summer and ready for this next year. So before the school year is in full blown, I wanted to provide some recap of how our summer went here in our state in ensuring children had continued access to nutritious meals so that they are ready to come back to you, ready to come back to school this fall, ready to learn. So for summer, just for a little recap, for summer 2025, we had two seamless summer option or SSO sponsors and a total of 72 sponsors who operated the summer food service program, or as we call them, SFSP. You all know we love our acronyms here, so please bear with me. The two SSO sponsors operated the congregate meal service, and 42 SFSP sponsors did the same. The 30 SFSP sponsors opted to operate the rural non-congregate meal service operation, and 11 of those sponsors were new to rural non-congregate. So they were a returning sponsor who the 11 they were returning sponsors who did congregate meal service in 2024 but opted in to do the rural non-congregate this summer. And lastly, we had a grand total of 97 rural non-congregate sites offering to-go meals across our state. The next slide really quick. To give you all a glimpse of how access to nutritious meals went for these rural non-congregate sponsors, I've gathered a randomized list of RNC. So again, acronym, I love to shorten everything. So I will be referring to rural non-congregate as RNC. But I've gathered a randomized RNC sponsors and how the summer went for them. So as you can see, I've provided a comparison numbers of meals served between 2024 and 2025. And you will see that in the first few columns. We had a few brand new sponsors who did not operate SFSP in 2024. So you will see that they have a 0 meal service, the first column. But they opted in to not only operate SFSP, but to also conduct the non-congregate meal service. Almost all of the sponsors listed here saw an increase in meals served to children. This shows the reach of these sponsors and how many children they were able to serve this summer. The next few columns, you will see the increase in SFSP reimbursement for these same sponsors. Summer meals operation, we know, is not about reimbursement. However, I wanted to provide this data to showcase that operating the non-congregate meal service is not the same how we did it back in COVID. I know we all still have some PTSD from COVID operation, but I want to highlight that. But then also, secondly, I wanted to make sure to share that our rural non-congregate operation now it's a little bit more strategic approach that only benefits the children, but also the sponsors as well. So really great numbers that, again, I wanted to highlight and showcase for various rural non-congregate sponsors that operated this summer. And lastly, as you guys can see in the very last column in your screen, I wanted to provide some notes on how service model, various service models that these sponsors conducted. As you can see, there are varying opportunities. Some sponsors conducted a one-day open meal service, but provided 7 days worth of meals of breakfast and lunch, so a total of 14 meals in one distribution. Others manage a very simple and basic operation where they just did daily non-congregate. They didn't opt in for the parent pickup option. They required the children to be present. So there were less processes and procedures needed to be in place because, again, children must be present. Regardless, though, of these varying service models that you see in your screen, regardless of what the sponsor is capable of, we have many options to offer our sponsors who are thinking about conducting the rural non-congregate. And so I wanted to highlight that and make sure we share that with you all. And just kind of give you guys a glimpse of how this summer went for these rural non-congregate sponsors. Next slide. So the summer food service team will be providing a debrief meeting on Friday, September 5th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. For all of our current SSO and SFSB sponsors, please be sure to register for this debrief. And then, of course, for any SFAs who are considering a summer meals program for next summer, I know we're just starting school year, but I'm already, plugging in you guys thinking about next summer. I welcome you all to attend this debrief meeting. As you can see, it is broken down into 2 parts. The first half is going to be a debrief of the congregate meal service, and the second half will be a debrief about the non-congregate meal service. So I welcome you to attend and register and attend this training just to get some um, ideas, best practices, lesson learns, all of those things. So if you're interested, please be sure to log into your CNP training portal and register for the training. Lastly, but definitely not least, I wanted to highlight the Summer Meals Turn Up the Beat Award. This award highlights the incredible work that our summer meal sponsors are doing across the nation. Through nominations, this award recognizes summer meals operation offering high quality meals that are appetizing, appealing, and nutritious to children throughout the summer. So for summer 2024, there were four Idaho SFSP sponsors who were recognized and received this outstanding award. So as you can see, Boise School District, Lake Penn Oriole School District, and West Ada School District received the Silver Award, and Bonneville School District received the Bronze Award. Please join me in congratulating these amazing sponsors and what they have accomplished this summer. I mean, all of our summer meal sponsors are incredible, doing incredible work, but it's really great to be able to recognize sponsors in Idaho in the national level just to really showcase what we're doing here in our state. And then just a last plug-in, nominations for the 2025 SFSP is around the corner. I will be sending out more information once I get that from the national office, and it will be shared via broadcast email. So that is it for me with summer food or summer meals. Again, I hope you all have a great and wonderful school year. Thank you all for what you do.
Thank you, Marianne. All right, now we'll hear from Jessica regarding CEP and applications. Jessica?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to a new school year. We just wanted to remind the sponsors that if you're operating CEP, you do not need to collect household applications, although you do need current meal counts for breakfast and lunch are still required for reimbursement. So, like I just mentioned, if you're operating CEP, you do not need to collect household applications. And that is all I have. Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, Jessica. All right, we'll hear from Pamela regarding wellness policies. Pamela?
Yay. Hi, good morning, everybody. Next slide, please. So, winning wellness awards from last school year are listed here. And this is an award we give out at the Idaho School Nutrition Association's annual meeting. This year was up in Coeur d'Alene, and I felt it's important to demonstrate that compliant wellness policies and vibrant wellness committees are possible. There you'll see that these folks had administrative reviews and they resulted in no findings. So we're up to 53% of ARs that are compliant for wellness. The year before was 26% of districts had compliant wellness policies. So you guys are doing great. Next slide, please. These are some well, this is taken out of the My Idaho CMP AR module. These are the questions. If you're interested, if you're having an AR, please look at this because you too can earn a winning wellness award. If you have an AR this year, please ensure that your wellness policy is compliant, your triennial assessment is current, that both are readily available to the public. Go through these questions and tips taken directly from My Idaho CMP. The tips are on the right-hand side. You could also reach out to those listed in the previous slide for some peer-to-peer questions. Of course, yours truly at the state agency is happy to help too, as are other folks here. So next slide, please. These are some online resources. Um, the Institute of Child Nutrition, the local school wellness policies, a written document of official policies that guide a local educational agency or school district's efforts to establish a healthy school environment. It promotes students' health, well-being, and ability to learn by supporting healthy eating and physical activity. So if you go to ICN, these are on-demand learnings that you can help yourself to. They range from 15 minutes to 8 hours. So anywhere in between, if you feel you need a little online resources or want to get some more information from an outside source, by all means, go and check these out. Next slide. And then Green Umbrella has this tool. The resources in this toolkit include overcoming barriers, forming a wellness committee, and writing policy. And they aim to make this process not only inclusive and equitable, but manageable for all stakeholders. I'll go ahead and drop the link to the PDF in the chat for everyone. And this is the local wellness, oops, policy toolkit. Um, I've been talking at the same time. Okay, we're good. And I think that's it for me.
Thanks, Pamela.
Thanks, Alex.
All right, and now we'll hear from Sean for USDA Foods. Sean?
Good morning. Today I'm going to go over some reminders and highlights for the USDA Foods Program. Slide, please. Thanks. Trucks have started arriving. So far, all the trucks scheduled for July and most of the trucks for August delivery have arrived. We have been notified of some shortfalls due to vendor constraints that have affected our orders. For example, the fine ground beef had a shortfall of 61 trucks, which resulted in our order being postponed from September to October. The apple slices had 32 trucks rescheduled from October to December delivery to a January to March delivery. And our frozen strawberry cups nationwide had 204 trucks rescheduled from October to December to April to September, which is just too late for us. So we have substituted the frozen strawberry cups for frozen peach cups. And then also Gold Star has notified us that the flour vendor has postponed delivery of our flour due to an explosion at the manufacturer. We have questions into USDA on the status of this, and we are still waiting for a response. So at this point, it's unknown when the new delivery date would be. Next slide, please. I wanted to also remind you that now is the time of the year that you will need to start running your reports. You can refer to the Web SEM user guide that's located on our website under the USDA Foods Program for specific instructions on how to run each report. Your entitlement bonus summary report will tell you how much entitlement you have, how much has been allocated to DoD Fresh, the estimated cost of your orders, and how much is remaining that can be used to purchase items off the advertisement board, or you can move some more funding into DoD Fresh. The amount remaining is just an estimate and can increase and decrease as the price of food purchases changes. And then you can also run your requisition status report, which will show you what foods you have ordered and the current status of your orders. You'll also be seeing Web SEM notifications sent to your email. This will let you know anytime any changes occur to your orders. Next slide. I wanted to also let you know that we have the opportunity to reallocate DoD Fresh funds 4 times a year. That would be in October, January, March, and April. The next opportunity is October, so I will be sending out a survey to all of you asking if you would like your entitlement funds, some of them moved to DoD or vice versa. I also wanted to remind you that the time frame for receiving goods and favors has changed from 7 days to 5 days and is now just 2 business days. If the goods are not received within the time frame, DoD can freeze your account and you won't be able to make any more orders until those have been received. And we also recommend that you have a backup person that can perform this task in the event that you are out of the office and unable to receive the items. Next slide. Finally, I wanted to remind you to go to your Gold Star Foods application and run your reports. If you go to the CNP training portal, you can find on the main portal page 2 links to the Gold Star Foods training that will guide you through the system. Going into Gold Star, you can find your entitlement balances for both direct delivery, and processed commodity. You can also see the available pounds at the manufacturer for further processed items, and you can access the advertisement board. We want to encourage you to use the advertisement board, but also want you to be sure that you are only taking what you can use for the current school year. If you can't use it, leave it on the board for other schools. Also, if you have a product you will not use, put it on the advertisement board, but know that if you take a product off, you must keep it and cannot place it back on the board. In addition, the product has to be at the warehouse in order to be put on the advertisement board. And then finally, from Gold Star, you can also see the live inventory under the reports section that will show you the inventory you have on hand at the warehouse and can be delivered to your site. If you select the USDA inventory by lot option, you will be able to see the date it was received in the warehouse, and this should help you monitor your 60-day dwell time. And that's all the updates I have at this time. I will turn it over to Kat.
Thanks, Sean. All right, everyone. My last time talking to you about procurement. Sharon is out this week and she will be your new contact, Sharon Desaw. So let me give you a few helpful hints as your procurement year reviews are coming along this year. So the procurement review letters will be sent next week. If you're getting an administrative review this year, along with the procurement review, you're going to get two letters, one for the AR and then one for procurement. If you don't know if you're getting a procurement review, you can go into My Idaho CNP and look in under compliance and then procurement review tracking. You will see a letter in the attachments, your last review closure letter, and then this year's the announcement letter. So go into procurement review tracking if you're not sure if you're getting a review. What Sharon will be looking for is your procurement procedures and code of conduct, and then the vendor template upload, the Excel document that you need to put all your vendors on that you've used. And then we will look for the 290 fund with revenues and expenses. And for those of you that aren't a public school, it is your nonprofit school food service account. I will say I started procurement 5 years ago. I did a whole series of reviews. So for those of you that are getting reviews this year, know that I did look at those 5 years ago. So I'm hopeful that your procurement procedures and code of conduct are up to date. If you had any technical assistance from me last time, so you might want to check on that before you upload it for Sharon. That'll save you guys a step. So this is where you'll find it. You will go into the procurement module, go under compliance. You'll see review tracking. That is for your AR. And then you'll see procurement review tracking. That will be your procurement review. You will see the details, say 2024, 2025. That is the year that we are looking for. So yes, this is school year 25, 26, but we are looking at information from 24, 25. And then you will see when you go in there, your review tools, you're going to have the sponsor contact information. We need you to fill that out if you're going to have other people you want us to contact. And then the review attachments is where you're going to put all the information that Sharon's looking for, the procurement policy, the code of conduct, the vendor template. This is where you'll put your invoices and any correspondence that you have with Sharon. So let's talk a little bit about capital expenditure requests. The threshold is now $10,000. If you have a repair, you do not have to put in a capital expenditure request, but if it's a replacement, then you would need to submit one if it's over 10,000. Remember that approval is required before you purchase. If you purchase something without our approval, you may have to use your general funds to pay for it. So make sure you're getting our approval. And then please email Sharon when you enter a request. We don't have the ability to be contacted when you upload something. So if you put in a capital expenditure request, let her know so that we can start working on that. Again, in My Idaho CNP, it still says $5,000, but that has changed to $10,000. This is a helpful tool. You don't have to use this, but it's very helpful for not only you, but it helps us as well. We'll be able to see the vendors that bid for you if you got no responses. So use this form if you are so inclined. It's in download form section 18 in procurement. And then when you enter your capital expenditure request, you can upload this tool as well. Buy American, don't forget the 10% cap started this year. I did send out a broadcast email last Friday, and it would have come from the Idaho No Reply in a broadcast. And I put in information about the accommodation waiver, and then there are two tracking worksheets. So if you're a larger school, we ask them to increase the lines. So there's 2,050 lines on one of the spreadsheets, and then the other spreadsheet has 1,000 lines. So if you have a lot to track, hopefully you won't have to use too many worksheets with given the larger amount of lines they put on there. And again, it's in download form section 18 procurement.
Thanks, Kat.
Yep.
All right, and then we'll hand it back to Pamela. Pamela?
My turn again. Next slide, please. Awesome. So what started as a pilot project in 2008 has grown to this, 69 districts with 156 schools. That's a lot of kiddos getting an extra dose of fresh fruits and vegetables during their school day. We were even able to fund kindergartners so they will have a positive experience with fresh fruits and vegetables from the time they start school. Letters and addenda went out last Friday. Signed addenda and trainings need to be completed by August 28th, so please reach out if you have any questions. Next slide, please. Okay, these are the two online trainings. There's a quick two-pager available in download forms in my Idaho CNP for teachers and others who will be passing out the FFEP snack. Have them sign and return this so that they and then you keep it with your records that they've been trained on the program. Next slide, please. So FFVP must be widely advertised. Here's an FFVP idea from Cassia County Joint School District. They put these crosswords up on the wall. Next slide. And here's another one from Castleford. Kim over there made this with Canva, and it's on her website. So I'm going to drop a link in the chat for this. If you wanted to go and capture it or reach out to her again, that was Kim in Castleford. Okay, next slide. Farm to school, woohoo! Okay, so October is National Farm to School Month. Please let me know how you are celebrating. I would love to come visit. Also, National School Lunch Week is October 13th through 17th. So let us know how are you going to celebrate. Again, we're going to have a crunch day on October 15th at 10:15, and that's just a way to get everybody together for having a bite out of an Idaho apple or carrot or potato. For real, you can have a raw potato. But it's just a way to celebrate and really get kiddos excited. Food is the most important school supply, and purchasing from Idaho farmers supports your local economy. And let's reminds kids that farming is a viable vocation. Okay, next slide. And what's in season? We have all sorts of things. Yay! Almost everything but grapes. Although the grapes in my backyard are ready to go and have been. Yeah, but this is the time of bounty and abundance. So enjoy what you can because, yeah, January is right around the corner. Anywho. Idaho Preferred has this wonderful website, idahopreferred.com, that you can log on to and pull up, put your zip code in and just see who's growing what around you. It might be, great to include in your harvest celebrations, to fill in that space on your what's for breakfast, what's for lunch, posters in your cafeteria, the local food served today. That would be great. But yeah, the earlier kids are introduced to fresh fruits and vegetables, the healthier habits they start, and apparently they have to go through, a picky period, especially like middle school, whatnot. But studies have shown that when they're young adults, they return to being to their healthy habits that they established early on. And you guys are doing wonderful progress in helping that happen. So thank you. Next slide. Literacy from the lunchroom. Yay. Next slide. I have a couple suggestions. Happy early reading and eating. Becoming a Food Explorer, written by Danny Leibowitz and illustrated by Mary Navarro. This dives into a magical culinary world that empowers children to listen to body cues, express their unique food preferences, and adopt a growth mindset around food exploration. And then the other one is Nutrition Fun with Brock and Roll. This is by Connie Lyko Severs. This combines a discovery approach to learning with a healthy dose of humor. Children 6 to 11 will learn to assess food and activity habits, set goals for good health, decode advertising and food labels, and develop basic cooking and gardening skills. So these are just some ideas to help promote that for, promote those healthy habits. And I think that's it for me.
Thanks, Pamela.
Thanks, Alex.
All right, and to conclude us, we'll have Cass to talk to us about professional standards. Cass?
Well, good morning, everyone. First, I'd like to welcome you all back to school year 25-26. We're really excited to work with you this year. Next slide, Alex. Okay, this is just a reminder that per 7 CFR 210.30, basically we are required to ensure that records are maintained to demonstrate compliance. So basically on the next slide, I will show you examples of what records need to be maintained. Next slide, please. So this is just a picture of a tracking tool that's available in download forms, and an example of what needs to be basically saved for 3 years plus the current year are certificates of completion, training agendas, if you attend any conferences, your schedules, and also your sign-in sheets. So once again, for any new directors out there, please, if you have any questions regarding what is needed for professional standards and what the requirements are, do not hesitate to reach out to your NSLB team. We'll be happy to assist you. And lastly, the NSLB team is looking forward to working with you all this year. Have a magnificent day, and back to you, Alex.
Thanks so much, Cass.
Mhm.
All righty, this is the date for our next webinar. And then this is our non-discrimination statement, and then our staff list. And that's the end of our presentation. We'd like to open the floor to any questions. Anybody?
Alex, I have something.
Yes.
So I just wanted to mention that Dairy West has their Power Up Pack grant. Um, their It's open on September 8th and it closes on October 3rd. We'll have more information next month's webinar, but since it opens before then, I wanted to get that out there. And this is grants that help you launch mobile serving lines like breakfast in the classroom, breakfast grab and go mobile cart, a combination cart for like a smoothie latte, hot chocolate, or a pizza cart. And the grants are designed to boost student excitement and increase participation around your school meals programs. So if you want, I put that link in the chat. Thanks.
Thanks, Pamela. All right, we have,
Alex, there's another question in the chat you might want to read out so someone could answer that.
sure, yeah, we have one here. A question on frontline civil rights training. Do we need to have have our elementary student helpers read and sign the frontline civil rights staff or training, excuse me.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question, Alex?
It was a question on the frontline civil rights training.
Mhm.
Do they have to have elementary student helpers read and sign that training? It's in the chat.
Okay, Lynda, can I have you jump in on this one? Okay, you know what? I'd say the frontline handout would be great for anyone that is assisting students in any capacity, but that is specifically regarding the regarding those individuals that are assisting in lunch in some way, shape, or form that are not a regular part of your CNP, excuse me, a regular part of your child nutrition team, that it is required for them to complete or to read. And actually, you should have an agenda and a sign-in sheet just so you could document everyone that has completed that one-page handout. So I highly recommend it.
Thanks, Cass.
Yeah, of course.
Anyone else? Going once, going twice. Well, alrighty. I think that concludes our presentation, folks. Thank you so much for attending and welcome back. We hope to see you next month.
Have a wonderful day, everyone, and thank you, Alex.